Hello. How's it going? We are no longer scuffed. All right. I think the plan is to just play some Valorant tonight for a few hours. R.I.P. Captain Holt. All my Brooklyn Nine-Nine fans. Yo. Word. I have like 3 minutes on the air fryer, and then Wendy's chicken nuggets. Oh yeah. Yeah, we got them earlier today. Yeah, we got them earlier today. So on the app, funny story, dude. It's so funny. You're gonna laugh. So we, oh, okay. Yeah. So I was on the app. Christina was on her way home, and she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna pick up food. Do you want anything?" And I was like, "I'm literally up for whatever," which is rare for me because usually I'm pretty like picky on like time, where I'm like, I only want burgers and literally nothing else. Um, but I was like, yeah, everything sounds good. So she's like, okay, I'm getting Wendy's. So I got an Asiago Ranch chicken sandwich, which apparently is like their best item. Never had it before, so I wanted to give it a shot. It's pretty good, but fair enough. Um, but on their app, I was like, oh, you know what? They have a what do they call it? It was like Lotto Nuggets or something like that, like a bunch of nuggets, and it was $10. So I was like, oh, okay, this is probably like a deal for like a 20 piece or like a 15 piece or something. And I I ordered it, and Christina texted me. She's like, they're mad about the nugget order. I'm like, why? She's like, because it's a lot of nuggets. I was like, it's only like a 20 piece. She's like, it's 50. I was like, it's 50 nuggets for $10? What a bargain. So, yeah, we well, apparently in the drive-thru it's $17, but on the app it's $10. Yeah, genuinely, anytime you guys or anyone in general ever orders fast food, do it through that corresponding restaurant's app. It's almost always cheaper, and I don't know why.
Because other apps have fees.
But you're meaning like cheaper than in person.
Yeah, I mean way cheaper than in person. Yeah, it was $7 cheaper for those nuggets.
Oh, damn.
But not if you're doing DoorDash or something, because that all adds fees. But like if I order McDonald's, I go in the McDonald's app, and they always have deals, and they always have. I have like reward points and stuff that I can just get free food for. It's pretty crazy. All right.
Chinese zoo admits they used painted dogs for their panda exhibit.
Oh yeah, that's old news. Got in trouble for that a while ago.
Just seeing this.
Yeah, did you know that all of the pandas in the world are on loan from China?
Really?
Yeah, so like, for instance, the US had a disagreement with China. So they said, okay, you have to ship us all of our pandas back.
That's...
Which is kind of funny.
That is.
All right, I'm gonna lock in and go grab my food. Right back.
Give us our pandas back.
Cool.
Give us our pandas back.
For real?
Is DT's game chat off?
No, he just said he's BRB.
No, his game chat.
He's BRB.
No, his game chat's
My
like...
office is a mess
He
because
just
I
has that
just threw stuff everywhere whenever I got back in here.
DT, is there a game chat on?
Oh, it is because
Should I turn that off? Okay.
hello. Oh, it's bugged to a point where I don't think I can hear people, but I don't think I can.
Backside.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
KO planted.
One enemy remaining. Clutch.
Easy.
Good job.
Good shit.
Hey,
Nice smoke.
W smoke, bro.
Thanks.
I think that the
Make
first
out.
smoke was fine.
distraction.
Exactly.
What was I gonna say?
Ah, I see, I see.
Oh, I had a question for you, Cody.
Mm-hmm.
And if the way I ask this is insensitive, please let me know. But are you vegan because of like meat is murder, or
No, more like
it's for health, right? Okay, that's what I thought. I had a follow-up question for that, and I thought about it while I was in the kitchen, and I forgot what it was.
okay.
I'll try and remember.
Can you type the cam sniper when
Oh
you
my
get?
god. Just go up, go up.
To the
Was ISO and KO? Soul was missing?
I think so.
Kills her, kills her.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, Soul was missing though.
Spike down B.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it might be spawn.
Wait, let me get arm.
Flawless.
What the? Wait, I turned around. He was in my face.
Dude, what the fuck was the question I was gonna ask you? Oh, okay, I remember. It was because I wanted to know of like your thoughts behind like people say that like it's wrong that we like breed cows to be killed.
yeah, I mean, I think that's true.
Like it is wrong?
Yeah, I think so.
It feels wrong. But I'm still gonna get a burger.
Oh yeah? We got the dart? Do they smoke?
Revealing area. There they are.
Nice.
Like, Jeremy!
Right.
Up again. Spin, swim, sit.
Go back that front bridge.
It's tragic.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
Recon.
Oh shit.
Shot down.
Oh, later.
It's a bonus.
Dude, if the if our Sova didn't tag their Sova, because he's like bunny hopping off site, like not that it's our Sova's fault, then I think I kill the Sova. But he's like bunny hopping off site, so I'm shooting at him, and then Clove just kills me from bridge.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's morally questionable. However, I think
Hey, are we saving trips for post or?
oh, you know what, dude? I am so sorry for that.
Go
On
next
my
bit.
wire.
I can't. Don't get.
Cage trigger. Cage triggered.
Running away.
Camera taken out.
Yeah, mid for sure.
On something. Oh, I just got flashed.
Yeah, Chamber's leaving. He cut noise.
I'm watching your back.
Stay down. No bother.
Thirty seconds left. One enemy remaining. Spike down B.
I'm flanking.
On default.
Didn't plant, didn't plant.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's morally wrong.
Definitely is.
But I also think like it's a necessary thing.
I think that's where we might differ because I believe it's morally wrong because it's
Oh, because it's not
unnecessary to
necessary.
the
Okay,
survival
okay,
of-
okay. I get so it's my argument is more along the lines of like it's necessary because people won't change.
Well, sure, yeah.
They could isolate you. Be careful, Saber.
Oh, true. I'm gonna run away.
You're in B.
That's quiet.
Dizzy has targets.
They're in, I think.
Cage triggered. Caught one.
Yeah, that chamber just walked his ass in there.
Timber TP'd out. Clove is here. No one's sight. No one's sight.
Oh,
Tagged.
where's
Oh
bomb?
my god.
Last player.
Oh, rid of
standing.
ammo!
Right side both.
80 ISO. 32
30
close.
seconds left.
Oh, does that go inside? I'd be trolling if it did.
Oh my god, of course. Dude, if they have a sheriff, I'm dead. I can't compete.
Grab walk spray.
Dude fucking ults me and one taps me with a sheriff.
Let's see you do this. Here.
Yeah, how are they just walking into sight with fucking pistols and like beating our strong side?
Yeah, I mean, our teammate, was it Gecko? I think died to someone that was in my trip through a smoke.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is a
that
nice
was
spot.
crazy. 100 chamber, all 5.
I'll plan.
Spike planted.
Where is everyone hiding?
That's you, pal.
Cage triggered.
Hold me,
One
hold
enemy
me.
remaining.
We got you.
Sick. I got it. Killed him.
No peeking.
That being said, though, I would be open to attempting to change.
I think you'd like it,
Yes,
to be honest. I mean, it's obviously like a
Yo,
huge
Cypher, can you do
adjustment.
this script here? This one?
I was literally just throwing that.
You're
This goes
awesome.
here.
Echo, you a
That
baiter.
goes there. Oh, this is a
You a
nice
fucking
spot.
waiter.
Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna leave this game right now.
Want to play?
Don't think I
Let's
won't.
play.
Please don't. I was lying. Make a noise, eh?
Tagged. Wow, my eyes are down.
Chamber might-
Cage triggered. They found my wire. Cage triggered. My eyes are better than yours.
I'm turning.
Spike down A.
I had one bullet I tried.
Somebody's there.
One enemy remaining.
I love that our Sova knows the strength of the heaven
Good
A
timing,
Sova.
yeah.
That's just so sick.
Of the what?
The angle he's playing in that dart, like on entry, is just so actually unplayable for them. Like
Yep.
they really need to just be KO knifing heaven to like prevent the dart on hit. But they are not.
Kind of hard to kill knife heaven from there.
This goes here.
Nading
Yeah,
mid?
man.
I'm fucking scared.
I'm gonna get this orb, Cypher.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
Yeah, come get it, brother.
What? Okay, running gun guardian!
My ears?
I'd like to keep my hearing.
Nah,
No? Okay.
you can get immortal or keep your hearing. You have to choose.
I mean, I'd like both.
I mean, someone like me, I could do both, but
That goes goes there.
Oh, fuck yeah, Gecko. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, I needed a haul.
This goes here.
What just
It's
happened?
B. Heavy. Rotate fast.
Oh, you are
I'm
cooked,
coming,
Jet.
I'm coming.
You are cooked. Oh, they're
Oh
cooked.
my god. Oh, shit. I'm gonna fucking come.
80 clove.
I vault on
Hey,
plan.
watch this on. Oh my. That's unfortunate.
Somebody's there.
I'm not ulting.
You, little homie.
Nice, Gecko.
One enemy remaining.
You had your fun. My turn.
One enemy remaining. Spike down.
Wiped clean.
Why did I get an assist for that? That's crazy.
That was a little too cringe for me.
Yeah.
Hit him with the mute, you know?
I liked the energy initially.
I'm gonna prefer this over some
That goes there.
insta toxic Yoru.
Yes,
He's doing his
this
thing,
should do.
that's for sure.
Oh, so is Alton playing back?
Anything B?
Nope.
Well, outside A.
Got you. Camera taken out.
One top mid. Okay. You just use a flash. Oh, and chamber. And I mean. I don't know. Whatever.
Can you pick up B and I go off mid?
Both at 40.
Walked at B. Fuck my life, man.
Enemy down.
Last player standing.
It's fine. I
Spike
want to eat my
planted.
nuggets anyways.
It's on purpose.
I pull my gun out too soon.
Wingman's on defuse.
Thrifty.
Dude, why do we just run it down every time they have pistols?
Yeah, that's my fault. Oh, I should have.
I'm trying to talk to you and you see red. You just want to take the fights.
Well, see, my thought process was I'm gonna one tap KO here and then run B, but instead I got one tapped. So
Fair enough. Loud B. Rotate.
It's you and me.
get better.
Spike down B.
They're
It
on.
could be mid. Cypher Green triplet.
One
Heaven.
enemy remaining.
Nice.
Everyone is off Daisy.
Last round before the switch.
Have both of you muted Sova?
Yeah, I did. Why?
Oh, that's not.
Ah, this is a nice spot.
They're gonna slam some KO ult if they decide to KO ult this game.
This goes here.
Thanks.
Insane. Well played.
You are powerless.
Watch this.
Spike planted.
I'm fucking flash and everything.
Wow.
One enemy remaining.
I got buddy.
My little guy did it!
Alright, that goes 2 kills. Oh.
Switching sides.
Okay.
No, what's crazy is I was about to say, no, he jumped off too early and put the correct 2.
That goes there.
All right. Food has been eaten.
Enemy tag.
So bad, Eddie.
Spike planted. Thanks, Wings. Shock down.
One down. One enemy remaining.
Jeez.
It's CT, right?
Someone save me from myself.
I can get ult if I get 2 orbs and go B. Yeah, wanna do that? Can we get B's?
Sure.
No, let's do it.
I'll lurk the B so you can get the orb.
I'll battle this with you. Make sure you get it.
Yeah. I'm gonna flash and then just hold me.
Oh, I'll hold you.
Shot down. Cage trigger. I can't use that.
On heaven.
I'm watching him do it, so chop them.
Deploying drone.
Spike wings.
So bad.
One enemy remaining.
He's stuck. Alright, I got ult. Let's go, go A.
I know they're saying what I would
I
have
could
said.
probably get this chamber.
What I would have said
right
in
away,
that
anyway.
situation is that's why would he trip it and then immediately swing?
Pass me ball. Chamber out. He probably has his TP like here or something.
What's up, Malik? We're back. We're back on the setup. The proper setup.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
Man, we're just going.
Feeling area. Shot down.
One CT.
70 close.
Spike planted. Thanks, wings.
Cage triggered.
I don't want to talk about it.
Damn, you get 2 if you had rifle there.
I get 2 if I didn't fucking whip 3 shots on KO. That's 2 feet in front of me.
Last player standing.
Hey, so it's so fun.
So fun, dude.
I get 2 if I didn't just fucking whiff 3 shots on the point blank KO.
That is
Keep
a
losing
different
rank
way
up
to
game.
say
I
what
played
said.
amazing today too. Damn, feels bad. It happens, man.
Unfortunate. I believed in you.
Do your rank up to like immortal? Sorry. I was
Oh.
hit the wrong fucking mute
Hey, that's through
button.
the box, man. What the fuck is that?
One down. Trick shots.
Oh, next bullet kills her.
Spike sticky. Thanks, little man.
No peeking.
Dude, that. Oh, that's right after this.
Can't do it. All you, Mosh.
Gets half of that.
Last player standing.
None of them are on it.
Damn. We really just swung out for no reason there. Unfortunate.
I got ult again. We can go A.
Let's say that Sova kept spraying me. I headshot him twice through the box. Oh, send it? Wait, you're diamond? You know that,
Sitting
right?
I think I have hero by. I can also manage next round if you guys want to save. We just play with the Gecko ult to my rifle.
Yeah, we have 3, right? We have
Up
3.
to you.
Yeah, this is good enough. This is good enough.
Bye.
Seven. Omen. KO.
One sec.
Got the right
Put down.
actually.
One enemy remaining.
What's seven?
Flawless.
Spike plant. Thanks, Wings.
We're nice shot.
I did not know you were diamond 3.
Match point.
I'll be
I
off.
thought
mid.
you were ascended. Like through ascended.
I'm telling you guys, I'm just so fucking mid on defense, and then I go on attack side. It's different story. Wish I was better on defense.
Had your fun. My turn.
Backside.
Backside.
Tied.
I don't want to talk about that.
Last player standing.
Alright, all good.
That didn't happen.
I liked that you chased the clove kill. I just, if you whipped, I think you might kill that KO.
I killed the ISA. I whipped an entire mag on the ISA.
I feel like I do
didn't
have
see
the
that.
aim.
That's why I had to reload.
Excuse me. Oh my gosh.
25 bullets in the wall.
Yeah, it's something. Doc.
I'm a fan of just droning. Like
I feel like I do have the
contact
aim
drone
to
from
be
here,
a
tag the
Synod
chamber,
Immortal,
and
but
you
it's not
ult off of
consistent
where
enough.
TPs do, like up here, back
Yeah, I would
here,
agree.
wherever it goes.
I think once you find your consistency, you're gonna be
Yeah, I'll just chase on your ult.
easily immortal. I mean, to be honest, like anyone that gets ascendant can get immortal, and I firmly believe that.
No peeking. Dropped in a smoke. Night night.
Spike down A.
Close.
Thanks, little man.
It's all right.
Shit. Dropped.
One enemy remaining. Attackers win.
You did a good shot on me.
Heard someone's legs break.
GG. Damn, good game, Cody.
Hell yeah, bro.
Match found.
Fuck.
Oops. Nobody just wants to play duelist these days. Like, oh, there it is.
So like, what's in Starburst? Can you have Starburst?
Yeah, I mean that's where like I think the vegan thing it gets a little out of hand. Like, you know, obviously, like I think people would consider like honey to be like not vegan, but like bees have to make it
Well,
to
yeah. I mean,
survive.
I don't know about that one. I mean, that's
You see
also
what I
saying
mean? So,
like I don't think, like I also think it's weird, at least in my eyes. Like, why can't you drink milk if it's a resource that cows produce?
yeah, no, I feel the same way.
Like, like it's a
we don't do
renewable
dairy
resource for them.
We're just lactose intolerant, but like I wouldn't have a problem with eating or drinking dairy.
Right.
I think like the conditions that it's farmed in is like really important. Like
That's
we
fair.
eat eggs a lot, and like we only eat specific eggs from
Mhm.
specific vendors.
Same,
'cause, like,
actually.
hormones are like a really big thing. Where like if the chickens just like live in fear 24/7, like that actually translates into the eggs, and like you're just eating that. So
That's
not
actually
super-
that's actually fair. Christina and I are actually very like conscious about where we buy our milk and eggs from.
smart. And then yeah,
I
we
eat whatever I can get my hands on.
there it is. I mean, we also eat fish, so like we're not like super principled, like, you know. But I will say, like, ever since we've been, you know, on like a more restricted diet, I've felt a shit ton better, and I don't get sick like nearly as much. And
When did you
I don't
start
know. We've been on this diet for like 4 years now.
Y'all ever wake up, nothing on but some socks?
I got the mute
Can't-
button. I got the mute button
Can't say I
ready,
have,
dude.
Lord Father.
I didn't know if that was the
I
end of what
did.
you were saying or not.
I did once.
There it
How'd
is.
that go?
I woke up with nothing but socks on one time.
Catch them.
Hit door.
Satchel out.
This game's community.
Oh my! I was about to rage at you.
Spike down A.
Rage at me.
Refreshing.
Oh, what's a B? What's a B? Close to close.
Yeah, cap.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, kind of believe it.
I mean, he already moved. He won't be kicked next round.
I'll walk it off.
He might be still.
Oh shit!
There it is.
Dude. Bro went AFK immediately. I'm literally a trash compactor for food. Probably each. I should probably watch what I eat. I will though. Will I though? Nope, dude. I'm sorry. Dyslexia is real bad right now. Apparently.
You know, that might be for the better.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it.
Dude, it's crazy after I hovered mute on that guy 2 words into his sentence last round.
That's crazy.
That's yeah, I don't know. I think as I get older, I'll probably start watching what I eat more. I tried doing vegetarian. I did that for like 2 days, and then I don't remember what happened. I think I just seen an ad for a McDouble, and I was like, damn, I want McDonald's. Weak-minded, you know? Weak-willed, I should say. How did you get your aim so consistent? Or how did you get your aim consistent? I'm sorry, dude. I can't fucking read.
Oh, remember that thing?
I don't know if
I showed you with Sam's girlfriend.
I don't know if my aim is really that consistent. Maybe it
Apparently
is.
I'm banned from her Twitch, and I've never even been in there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I've never watched a single one of her first streams, and I'm banned on her Twitch.
Let me ask.
It's kind of funny.
Side note. Do you think I have consistent aim?
Let me think.
I think so.
Like, what do you mean?
Like,
just like general statement? Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Just like consistency in my aim.
Yeah.
More than me, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, more than me too.
All like
Do you not think so?
It's been a long time since I really thought about it. I guess I am kind of consistent now. Oh, okay. Sorry to be conceited for a second. Appreciate it. In that case, playing a lot, really. Playing a lot and
I'm like
practicing
very hot and cold
with purpose.
I think it's like probably got a lot to do with like
I think aim
outside the
labs and
game.
stuff can be good, but
But
maybe
yeah,
I'm a little
you're
old school, but
very
I
consistent.
prefer to practice where I play, not just how I play. So like all of my aim training and stuff I do in Valorant.
When is the new map pool coming?
Next act.
Oh.
Like towards the end of October?
Yeah.
Zoom this camera. Ooh. Better.
What webcam do you use? Because I'm trying to get a new one.
I use a Sony A6000.
All right, who's playing what?
DSLR camera.
Okay, that's expensive. Never mind.
I
the
think
Bizzler.
I'm just gonna chill, dude. You know, on some Cypher. Or you know what? We're not chilling. I'm playing Vice.
Wait. We go Rina, Gecko.
Alpha.
I do those things. I guess I haven't put enough hours into it yet. Yeah, I mean,
Here?
how long have you been playing first-person shooter games in general?
Double in the shooter, and I'm gonna go rain.
This is a good comp.
I like this stuff.
Oh no, I'm more scared about the boys.
No.
What?
What? Oh, we're going.
He said, "I'm concerned about the Vice. Better Vice than fucking Chamber."
Oh, this guy
Tell you
talking
that
shit.
much.
For sure.
Do I need to let him know?
They
Yeah.
have no initiative.
All right, dude. Alt F4. Just kidding.
They're the two
Let
worst
him know.
sentinels in the game.
Doubt me. I'm leaving.
Yep, you're so concerned. I'll prove you right.
They have the. They have
Like,
the two worst sentinels.
Yo, wait, the Chamber.
I played a lot of them on
Enclosed
tablet growing
investment
up
banker
in
and
4 years of
Quirky
Valorant
Fantasy, bro.
PC.
Those are the
Yeah, I mean, I
British
think
fuckers on our team last game. They
that's
got remade.
probably also something that slightly differs. Is and I'm not exaggerating at all, I've been playing first-person shooters on keyboard and mouse for 22 years. I am not exaggerating.
Let's go B.
Yeah.
Now we wait.
Retrieving wall.
I'll flash a point.
Placing wall trap. Flash place. On my head. Two good hits.
One hookah.
Rip and tear.
I'm flashing. One's on there.
Drop out. Close.
I couldn't see him through the fucking vines.
Spike down B. Last player
There's
standing.
no way
About
we're getting baited like that. Like, what the fuck? As soon as I get this insta kill, like, we just send and we trade.
Yeah.
Like,
I
this
right
is
clicked.
some
I
standard
right
shit.
clicked the clove. Hit her 75. While she was jumping in. For like 4 years, my highest rank is like plat 2. I mean, that's not bad. To be fair, like there's, like I feel like there's a stigma
Blinding crack. Not ready yet.
that like you should be a certain rank after X amount of time, but that's, I mean, that's just not the case. In all honesty, like you have plenty of time to get better.
Say that one.
Fucking crouch it. One flank as well. You short.
Last player standing.
Oh my god.
But like realistically, like maybe like 4 years being plat 2, if you started at iron, like that's not that bad. It also depends on how much time you're putting into like deliberately trying to improve. Like doing aim trainers is cool and everything.
Sure.
But if you're not doing them with purpose, like I need to
Clove
get
and chamber, I think.
this one specific thing better
Yeah, isometric
with my
shots.
aim, and you're just doing like, oh, I'm just following Osbos or whatever, like, you know, insert pro player
Now
gear,
wait.
then like I don't think you gain as much from that. It's just practicing with a purpose is like the most important thing.
Blinding crack. What? Not ready yet.
And hookah,
Walking right.
Nice.
good trade.
One second, too.
Hit 81. Bro was on top of fucking.
CT. Two
One
on
CT.
Spike planted. Thanks,
I
Wing.
think they both got.
Did you put a lot of time into learning Val even though I couldn't play it because I didn't have PC yet?
He still
Really
has.
put 3K hours into Siege, peaks over 3. I just played custom
one
Already
games.
on the
ready.
stage.
He's up top.
Yeah, I mean,
One's out.
again, it's like
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Last player standing.
You have to dash. Hit 40.
Shot my wingman.
Wait for the
oh, this
slow.
is such a good slow.
Saw you, little homie.
Okay, that's a troll wall though.
Fresh hit him.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I think he literally wins if he doesn't put that wall up.
If you just starts the or starts diffusing,
Yeah.
just like on the slow. Yeah, yeah, true.
I broke. I'll buy my best gun. Oh,
Chamber's
oh
just
fuck
moving
out of here,
with a
naked
shotgun.
forest. Stupid. Stupid. Bro, let me get 4 shots off and never TP'd.
Flash place. Not ready yet. Good hit.
Come back, come back, come back. Just run, just run. You don't need TP, just leave. Okay,
Oh,
all good.
yeah, you did.
No, that's fine. I think one's still here.
I saw his no shield.
Wingman's planting.
For sure that was Clove that TP'd.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Let's go! Any Vandals? Okay.
Someone off alt again.
Thanks.
Bro's
Sure, haven't
farming these points.
been playing Val as much lately, which sucks because I really want to play. Go from diamond.
I think we can
go
get
4 diamond.
Hookah, even if we just trade one for
But my
one.
PC is kind of
since
poop right
it's gonna be
now.
long 2B.
Yeah,
Or
I
two
don't think I
hookahs.
can play this game without a good PC.
Yeah, are you using Boombot to clear?
I was, but yeah, okay.
You're chilling. That 100% would have blinded me.
Oh my god.
I don't.
Nice, good trade.
Nice.
I mean, I wouldn't
I'm
be
on a
surprised
alt
waiting for somebody.
Nice.
Not ready yet.
Come.
One enemy remaining.
Could be flank.
Spike planted. Thanks, Wings.
Not CT.
You lied to me.
Dizzy's up top.
Continue by me.
For me, the way I got better at the game was just copying how pro players played.
That's a result.
And as I went,
This Chamber and Clover
the
is
more I
fucking
learned
running it on B.
why they play that way. Yeah, I mean that can be good.
Do you want to switch it up? And you can
I
do
think that's a
bottom
good
long and alt
baseline,
and
but I think it's important to know what you need to improve on and
You should go
how
with
to
them, Marina.
improve
I
on
think
it.
they'll.
Okay.
I don't think he'll be able to hit both. I think they'll play
Bro,
cross.
there
or
ain't no
something.
way I could play this game 20 FPS. I would actually just stop playing.
Yeah, I think that's out. Wall.
Not ready yet.
On site. I flash.
There.
I'm on.
Phones are locked.
Good spam. So
I was gonna say if there's multiple here, no?
yeah, leading is good.
Multiple.
You guys stay in?
Wingman's gonna plant spike.
Not ready yet.
I was just gonna.
By July, I plan to
Alright,
build a new beast of a PC, new RTX,
Shower.
or sorry, RX, not RTX. So AMD.
He hit one with ult too.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
that's sick.
I was gonna probably.
Yeah,
over-
Raze doesn't
Here,
spawn.
One enemy remaining.
Spawn as well.
40.
Has ult. Play smart.
Dude, Gecko's gotta be playing with music or something, bro. Like, why do you keep pre-aiming over here? This shit is driving me nuts.
I wasn't trying to line up.
No, you guys played that great.
I personally am an Intel shill, but
I think I can just
I
walk
will
into B
admit-
from long with my ult.
AMD kinda be cooking lately. I think Intel is getting too big for its britches.
Not ready yet.
I'm so sorry. One elbow.
On our cheat,
Launching thorns.
Wait, under who's got the classic?
Last player
There's
standing.
4 here.
Spike down B.
Dude fucking killed me through you.
It's you and me.
dude.
That's just some hate.
Bro's hungry for me.
Dude, ISO is so fucking boring to play against.
They don't have Ice Wallet anymore.
True.
Thank you.
I was gonna say we can advise in a hookah, we can advise up on the side.
Wait. Can
Good request.
Now we
buy
wait.
the Ice?
Oh yeah.
I need a weapon.
Oh, sorry.
Let's
You
slow
might
it
be
down. Let's pressure something, but I don't think card committing is working. They're rotating too fast. One showers, Siege.
Kimber trips in here. I'm flashing.
Blinding crack.
Yeah, someone's
Blinding. Retrieving flash.
All right, I can walk up to this corner and all.
There.
Nice, yeah. Can't care how. Wait.
Launching forward. Thorns are live.
Okay.
Flashing. Rip and tear.
One enemy
Nice,
remaining.
good trade. That's very nice.
That's another dead one.
Fuck yeah. Okay, guys.
That Ray's not being blind really kind of fucked me up there, dude. I just kind of panic sprayed. Not gonna lie.
Even though I just kind of like fucking ran it.
Only
to the
reason I got a new
stage just to,
PC
like,
was
slow
because
the
of
rotate a lot.
Make-A-Wish. Like, actually,
Maybe you keep doing that.
if so, you're actually the second person I know that has done that, like, legitimately.
Up and away.
I have 3 on A right now.
Chamber's lit.
Rip and tear. Thorns are live.
Yeah, you don't trade.
Right out. Mangle.
That's the spike, Wings.
Could be elbow.
Spike stick.
One enemy remaining.
All set. Flash placed.
Dizzy's up top.
Makes me so happy to kill that Sage. Okay, new plan. I really pressure A, then you guys do a little pressure B and rotate back to A. And they'll be like, oh, it's actually a B hit.
Okay.
So just quiet for like 10 seconds and then fight a little bit and then just rotate back to A. Don't
Until they're making promises that they currently can't keep. Yeah, I am. Yeah, Intel's kind of dropping the ball lately. Keep it out. He's hurt.
He's walled on him.
Blinding crack. Blind. Not ready yet.
He's definitely on top of this wall. Oh, he dropped.
Okay.
Yeah,
Running the showers.
We still haven't cleared there though.
yeah, ISO's there. You all. One shot.
Tragic.
One sweep.
That's so.
Or are you hauling me?
I can all.
You will not.
You had
kill
cancer
my ally.
pandemic, so I couldn't travel. I just got a PC instead. Damn, that sucks, brother. Is it? Are you better now? I hope.
Dizzy's up. Saw you, little homie. Crash got a hit.
Wait, charge. Or...
Dead. Another. Órale.
Answer free.
Heaven.
One enemy remaining.
I don't care if I wake up my house. That's celebration.
Bang.
Last player
Oh
standing.
my. He runs too much.
Bro, this guy's movement is insane. He like steps outside of the gecko molly like a pixel for it to not kill him and then goes back into it. That's insane. Report this guy.
ISO?
No, yeah, they're ISO. That's sick though, Malik. Hell yeah.
I was on top of Ray's mid sash.
We should just hard commit A, I think, this round.
Now that you're now that you are cancer free, I feel okay saying this. It's a little funny that you're the second person I know that has gotten a gaming PC from Make-A-Wish. That do be tiebreaker.
Huh? Oh, sorry.
Down.
What the fuck?
Wall set.
What is he doing on Val? I don't think Ty ever gets off Val.
Spike's down.
Heaven triple.
Spike
CT.
down A. Last player standing.
My turn.
Sure.
Last round in the half.
I'm trying Phantom. It's soon okay for me.
We can get Weisel here.
Not gonna
Thanks,
lie,
dear.
boys. I've been
Good
mentally
one.
checked out of this game.
Wouldn't mind not in this game though.
Frost.
There's A again.
Left side. Could still be left side.
Launching
I don't
force.
know, right?
It's you and me.
Down
That's
B.
me.
Last player standing.
I'm dead though.
Man.
Skedaddle off.
Nice try.
NT.
Good aim.
Switching sides.
Yo, listen to this statement. Tell me this is not crazy. No lie, my friends bursted out laughing when I told them I had cancer.
That's sad.
Whatever.
2 seconds.
Now we wait. Rip and tear.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
Having sleeping my fucking brains out.
Retrieving flash. Blinding pack.
Oh, someone in your chat asked, "Is that type?" Oh,
Yeah.
I see that.
Hey Oshinra. Steps outside B. Turn my music up and I can't hear shit now.
No peeking.
I'm gonna leave you, Race. Well, never mind. I'm coming back.
Yeah, that's 3A short.
55 sage, 90 ISO. Bro.
Spike planted.
Inner spawn. Where's inner spawn?
Last player
What the
standing.
fuck is he doing? Actually, shits on me.
I can smoke that off, and no, I can't.
Oh my god, I did not expect him to fucking swing from that.
He was right there. It's right there. Waiting for
Just
you.
double satchel out of the truck and double right click me.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna go into.
Alright, dude, it's new crosshair time. They're
No charges.
done for.
I didn't know you were here.
It's so sad that that happened.
no
How it
charges.
did.
You are.
Yeah, I was coming to flash for you.
Okay, I lied. I'm using a ghost.
They were,
Now we wait. Rip and tear. Flash placed.
I sprayed outside of A.
Drop in a smoke.
I think so.
3 showers.
Wait, that's actually really.
That might have been beat short.
There's a trip
Someone
here.
swung a knife outside B.
Wall trip.
There.
Outside B. Hookah.
Clove and ISO are inside. Hookah.
Outside.
Not ready yet.
ISO's hit 42.
No peeking.
Oh, this is good timing.
78 on Raze, 50 on Raze. 50 on also.
Last player standing.
What the fuck is this? Bro, it's just flying past. I thought he was...
That's where he went.
Worst part about the cancer was it made so I couldn't experience high school. Diagnosed your freshman year. That's fucking. Be honest, I didn't miss much because I did nothing. I don't know. Personally, me, I slept all the way through high school.
Really slow.
I didn't go through to a single dance in high school. I'm glad I didn't, because everyone said all of them were.
You were hit by a bus too? God damn, bro.
That's a
short one.
Maybe you should stay inside and only play Val.
Nice.
I do the same thing. I mean, I already do, but.
Nice. 49 chamber, 55 glove.
They're pushing up short now.
One enemy remaining.
Less on short showers.
What?
Short showers. Short showers.
Lit 55.
Maybe went to spawn. Oh yeah, dude.
I
Raptor
damaged
spawn.
them,
That's so funny.
We have bomb?
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh.
Yeah, side B.
Oh my god, I was staring at my map.
Oh, he's gonna run back.
Very
Pretty.
Yeah, he's gonna sprint it. He has to plant. Oh, wait. That's crazy.
Don't mess with my crew.
My fault. I was staring at my map when he swung from the side I did not know he was in.
I need a weapon. Thanks.
Can't show the world, I'm afraid. I was hit by a car.
Wow, thank you.
I've been stabbed.
Wait, I was also in alternative high school most of high school. For half my time in high school.
Now we wait.
I'm gonna keep on.
Launching thorns. Launching thorns.
Somebody short.
Flash placed.
What's that short?
Flashing.
I did not mean to use that.
Drop in a smoke.
Bro, 102 on the.
I'm gonna rotate if I want to stay there.
He healed.
Retrieving flash.
Up short of me.
Sage just holding showers.
Stay B.
ISO Sage showers.
Are they out short?
No, no.
ISO popped his shield, but it hasn't come out.
Showers. I think they're taking shower control.
Yeah, they're all coming out of showers.
Stay alive. Can go heaven.
They're out planting.
Spike planted.
Sage at the corner plant. They're all playing showers.
Blinding trap. Flash trap destroyed.
Love is an Odin.
Last player standing.
Oh, you can.
One enemy
You can.
remaining.
Dude, there was a spot where you could defuse behind the wall.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, all good. That's what I was trying to say, but everyone kept dying. All right, sorry. I'm locking in. I'm sitting up.
Dude,
I'm paying
someone told him
attention.
to stop, like, over peeking.
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of with you on that one. I don't think students can thoroughly learn at that pace. One's outside B. I hit him 55. He's leaving, going towards A.
In the shower.
Bomb buddy out.
Oh, on top. I have no help in the world. He's dead. My bad.
Oh, good. I think I'm gonna play A.
Wait.
Last player standing.
Gonna run it.
Spike planted. Flawless.
I'm just gonna play A. They aren't letting me do anything on B.
Well, did you play A and you guys?
Now we wait.
Rip and tear.
I've been playing right here. I can smoke. I just can't smoke shower.
Launching thorns.
I can play like in spawn though.
I don't even play on its site. You play.
You remember shit from high school when I graduated last year? Yeah, I slept all the way through high school.
I didn't see anything.
He's
Short.
quiet.
Short.
It's you and me.
Oh, lovely.
Good shower.
Thorns are live.
Could be U-Haul already. Yeah, one U-Haul.
Chamber on the left.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Good reset.
Spike planted.
Retrieving clash.
20 seconds, that's down.
Yeah, sure.
NT.
Oh, good.
They might result truck.
Now we wait.
Again, outside.
Need to move my wall.
Now we wait.
Retrieving wall.
Now we wait.
Launching thorns. Flash placed.
I was like, what the fuck am I stuck on?
Thorns are live. Wall trip. Flashing. Good hit.
Feeling safe.
One's long, too long.
Sage is long. Sage is garden.
Good TP. That's okay.
Blinding. Good hit. Retrieving flash.
2 gear close.
Planting. I'm ulting.
Flashing.
30 seconds left.
Stay down. Hold.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
That's some short.
Short A, short A. Hell yeah, bro. Good shit.
Wait, no. Oh.
No, I'm trioed right now.
If a Bucky on accident.
Are you trying to get in here, Donnie?
Let's double up and do this round.
I think if we could.
Now we
They
wait.
have no flashes. So we
Rip it
can
there.
with the flashes. It's kind of hard for them.
True.
Oh, yeah.
I can try to bait for you.
You want to play? Let's play.
Yeah, yeah. 1B.
Retrieving flash. Rip and tear.
Back like I never left.
Spike down B.
80, I saw.
We have flashes.
I saw 80.
Play safe, yeah.
Lucas knocked.
Thorns activated.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B.
That's off.
Yeah, Trevor is their lurk player.
No peeking.
Come on, hold flank.
Yeah.
Blinding crack.
This is good.
Retrieving flash.
Do we want it? Oh, that was all.
Yeah, grab that.
Grinding New World. Why are you grinding New World? We're starting a new server on the 15th.
Thank you.
With all my homies, am I right, guys?
Maybe.
Wow.
Now we wait.
You don't want to start a new character?
Launching thorns.
They have ice ult. They ult you. Instantly.
Okay.
Launching thorns.
Bro, coming from someone that has almost 1,000 hours,
Yeah,
the
they
game's
can
gonna be
all kill.
way more fun if you start over.
Womp womp.
Is it on
Thorns
outside?
are alive.
He went.
Someone's else in the shower.
One more. One you, one outside teleporter. One teleported.
One enemy remaining.
On B. Dedge.
You want more? Sorry, buddy, it's over.
Yeah, I think like so the starting over is gonna be big because it's gonna put like there's not gonna be any overpowered companies. Like I feel like everyone experiencing the middle the game together is gonna be like
Sage does peeking.
just more enjoyable as a player base.
Blinding crack.
Yeah, but then it'll take a while for PvP. Not really. No, I mean you can queue 3v3 or 3v3 arena at like level 20.
Rip and tear. Retrieving flash. Thorns activated.
You can do 3v3 at not max level.
Rip and tear. Thorns activated. Go.
Yeah. One showers.
Spike down A.
They wad us off here.
120 Sage. Gonna have a stack for a minute. It's just three of us.
30 seconds left.
Oh, dude. That's a judge.
Run, little man. The wingman's down.
Luka.
Last player standing.
I ran it, sorry. 42 ISO.
Spike planted.
I don't know, my angle's so bad there. And the reswing is bad. Yeah, that's my bad, guys. Sorry.
I mean, I know you can do war. You can do wars pre max level as well. I think OPR is the only thing that's max level locked.
I was thinking about it. I have money though.
Clove Can you buy Gecko?
Satchel out.
Yeah, pressed.
If we hear him here, do you? Oh, never mind. We have a. Oh.
Launching thorns. Thorns are alive.
I just raised.
Placing wall trap. Rip and tear.
No, war had no level requirement. People just only took max
Yes,
level.
can we leave? That's all we need.
People.
What the fuck?
I think you had to be.
There's
Sorry,
two
I think
there.
you had to be level 10.
Just holding it with an Odin.
So we're all holding short.
Dude, can I fucking aim? Dude, here. Holding.
Bring me the arsenal. Thorns are alive. Yeah, it's like that.
One showers.
Just die.
I'm flank with you, Gecko. Oh yeah, get it.
Remaining.
Nice.
That sounds you all.
Alright.
30 seconds left.
Dude, I can't fight. I can't fight the fucking crouch peeking Odin.
I know me.
Is either CT or yeah.
Spike planted.
All right, this
They
is
were-
so
yes, again.
winnable.
3 of them were looking flank when I didn't even make a sound.
Last player standing.
Oh my god. He's on top of the thing.
Match point.
They're all watching. I didn't even make the sound.
I can't believe we lose that.
We can play retake.
That was such a slow trade. I don't know why he wouldn't just.
I mean, there's 2 A short. I think we should pop rock and try and get kills.
Yeah.
Retrieving flash.
One short.
It's too short at least.
Showers.
Dude. That's so good.
Wall tripped.
Between you.
One could be in there.
Blinding crack. Not ready yet. Good hit.
One showers.
Retrieving flash.
He planted B.
Yeah.
Leave the chamber. We need to just kill the clone.
CTP? CTP?
She's in our spawn.
CT.
Backside.
One enemy
27.
remaining.
That's all.
Yeah, just run loud the whole way, DT.
Last player standing.
Fuck, never mind.
There's no fucking way we lose that game like that, dude. That's insane.
Odin.
Yeah, that feels bad.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie. Dude, I lose 20 for that. That's crazy.
All right, gang. I call it here. GG's.
Sounds good.
Word. All right. Later, gang.
GG's.
GG's.
Staying on.
I don't know yet.
3
Hmm?
for the day. I'm down 3 for the day.
Oh, down 1. That's true. That is true. I may call it here. I have to get up early tomorrow. Let me see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here. Actually,
All right. I thought I'm good enough to then.
later we can play tomorrow night if you want.
Yeah, sure. That's it.
I don't know if I'm actually going to end stream right away. Donnie, what server are you on a New World? Are you in what the fuck is what's the hold on, don't tell me I'm not hold on. Don't tell me I'm not looking at chat. Is it I'm trying to remember what server all the West Coast people played on. It was El something, El Dorado. Oh, god damn. Let me see if I can server transfer. I don't play with anyone on my server. I still think we should make fresh starts. And if we don't enjoy the fresh starts, we can then keep playing our max levels. But I think fresh starts are going to be way more fun. That is the plan? Oh, okay. Sick. ETF something to show you? What's up, Malik? Oh my god, my game keeps crashing. Hold on. I will play. It will work eventually. I keep tabbing out. All right, hold on, Malik. I'll look at that in a second. I need to wait for this game to launch so it stops crashing. I got you. Yeah, I'll check that in a minute. Don't crash. Don't crash. Crashed. Why does this game hate me? Okay. Damn. Well, I think the problem is you're playing in plat. I think. Damn, Donnie, 70 hours? You are grinding. I think the hardest climbs in Valorant are gold to plat, plat to diamond, and then diamond to ascendant it's not hard, you just have to play. And then ascendant to immortal is the same. It's not hard, you just have to play. And then I think getting above immortal 1 is hard. Dude, I'ma lose my freaking mind. The game will not launch. And I don't want to restart my computer. It's not even giving an error. Event viewer. Ascendant is the hardest rank to climb out of. Don't care what anyone says. I don't think it's the hardest. I just think it takes the most time. Oh my god, an error that actually gives me information? That's fucking crazy, dude. Bolting application path. Am I missing a file? Maybe more recently Ascendant's hard to climb out of because I mean every single Ascendant in our lobbies are not, I mean all of them are like immortal players. It's just everyone is hard stuck because of how this game's MMR system works. Yeah, maybe Ascendant actually is hard to climb out of now. This is one of the homies. Waiting for this to finish. Look alive. Throws his heads up and throws the flashlight directly at the ground. Bad. I don't know if you guys have played Until Dawn, but it's a great game. Bro has never called me Danny. his entire life until just now. Files successfully validated. All right, let's try this together, team. Yep. Yep. Fuck. Crashed again. Is this okay? If this fixes it, I'm gonna be annoyed. I don't think that fixed it. Wait. Oh my god, it did fix it? I'm a fucking genius. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm overhyping for absolutely no reason. Alright, let me... I can transfer. El Dorado. So, I'm gonna play that song right now. Except I don't think it says El Dorado, it says Desperados. Wow. Oh, sell my house. Mm-hmm. 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 Better and the weather don't shift. Oh, there's no hiccups like this. All right, transfer service. Oh, character transfers. What, dude? I have the money. I have the money right here. It's already in. $15 for a transfer is insane. It's not. It's cheaper than WoW. I think WoW's $25. You like my tank setup? Pretty sick, dude. I don't have any gym slotted, but dude, for real. I mean, I mean, this is Amazon and fucking WoW is Blizzard. So what do you expect? Oh, I can check what WoW's is. Pretty sure it's 25. Email leaked. But I don't even use that email. Mm-hmm. Well, I can't transfer. I mean, I can, but if we're just gonna be making new characters. But I guess if you guys don't have fun on fresh starts, then I'll transfer. But just think about me being jobless. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really have $15 to spend on that. So seems like you're gonna have to enjoy fresh start. And broke too. Mm-hmm. Let's see how much it is. Mm-hmm. The hell's the shop? There. Yeah, $25. Also $60 to level your character 10 levels below max. $30 to change factions. $25 to change your race. That one's kind of insane. $10 to change your name. Dude, Donnie, you didn't answer. Do you like my tank setup? think it's pretty sick, dude. Yeah, Pumpkinhead. I think I have that perma transmog. From you swap from tank to bow and spear. Is that not best for OPR? What, bow spear? Bow spear should be fucking. The word I was looking for. Wrecking. Jesus. Should be wrecking people in fucking OPR. Ice Gauntlet Hatchet. I would go Ice Gauntlet Rapier. That combo is OP. Hey, hold up. This song's not in my fucking playlist, but it's about to be. Yeah, Ice Gauntlet Rapier is real good. Two in the morning, go to bed. All right. Have a good night. But also, you should join us for New World. This game's a lot of fun. I mean, not now, but later on. This is New World. It's oh, let me. My music is so loud in my ears. It's an MMO RPG. It is not free, unfortunately. I'll be streaming it whenever we start playing it again. It's on. We're starting it. Not this coming up Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. So the 15th is whenever it's relaunching. Sadly, you cannot join. All right. Well, I think I wrap up here. I have a short stream, not even 2 hours, but I'm tired and I have to get up in the morning to be a dad. So Dude, what the fuck is that emote cursing? Is him for wooting and a new mouse pad? Fair enough. I have many mouse pad recommendations. Let me know if you want some. Dude, it's just so small on my screen. I can't even see what that is. Is that Doc? It's my friend doing the gritty? Oh. Dude, it looks like Doc. Got the Doc headset. All right, homies. I may stream tomorrow. I may have. Okay, so hold on. Before I go. I thought about doing something. Okay, so I have two phones. I have one phone. I have one phone that has two phone numbers on it, and I think what I kind of want to do is take one of the phones and set it up for IRL, like IRL streaming. And then the second phone, I do like DoorDash on. And then I just like bring you guys with me on like DoorDash orders. I think that'd be kind of fun. Would that be fun? Or is that stupid? Think about getting an artisan mousepad? Yeah, I have two artisans I recommend. I don't use them, but I have them. Do it? Okay. I might do it. I think it'd be fun. Just like driving around, doing some door dashing, making some money. Thoughts on glass pads? I had one glass pad back here. Kind of see it. It's this box right here. It's the gaming gear sonar. And it's good. The only thing about glass pads is they destroy your skates. So if you don't buy new skates like once or twice a month, then it's eventually you're going to start scraping into the bottom of your mouse, and it's no good. Luckily skates are super cheap though. You can usually get a set of like 2 or 3 skates for like $6. I recommend Lethal Gaming Gear. Lethal Gaming Gear. Oh, did they change their website? Oh, it is. They did. It's just this now. It's just lethal.gg. I recommend them. I just want a soft mouse pad. I mean, how soft though? Does they have soft, extra soft, medium? Because like the mouse pad I have right now, I have this one right now. And like hitting all the wrong buttons. The one I have right now. And it's pretty plush. Like you can, I mean, it's hard to tell. Can't really, like, it's got a decent amount of give. Which I think for me, it's actually kind of bad. So I may be switching off this mouse pad soon. Because you may notice, sometimes whenever I flick, I go way past them, or I like stop on them. And it's because sometimes whenever I flick, I push down on my mouse, like I'm pushing it into the mouse pad as I swipe. And usually I'm more accurate that way. But whenever I don't do that and I'm just flicking over to try and shoot someone and I way overdo it, it's because I didn't push down on the mouse at all. So it's just like free sliding across the mouse pad. That's another reason why I couldn't use glass pads, is because I was like absolutely demolishing my fucking skates. Yeah, a good like or my art. I don't know where my artisans are, or I would show you. But I have a Heian. But okay, also, if you don't want to pay $90 for an artisan, you can get, like, for instance, Lethal Gaming Gear, the site I just linked. They sell artisan clones. That are very, very close. Like, they feel very good. Was it the Mercury? Yeah, the Mercury. The Mercury is a Heian clone. And that's like the artisan Heian is the artisan Heian is like, that's what a lot of people swear by. That's like the flagship artisan that everyone gets. And that's $90, but the Lethal Gaming Gear one is $15. It's out of stock right now. But I will post the link. That's the Mercury. That's the that's like the Heian clone. I'm not affiliated with Lethal Gaming Gear, but I hard vouch for them. They're actually one of the like sickest game company or like peripheral companies that I've worked or that I've bought from before. They I went to MLG, not MLG, the Siege Major in Columbus, Ohio. No, not Ohio, not Columbus, Ohio. It was in North Carolina. I don't know. One of the Siege Majors in North Carolina. And I DM'd Lethal Gaming Gear on Twitter and was like, "Hey, like I'm not an influencer, but I love your products, and there's gonna be a lot of like PC people that I know there. Can you send me some items, and I will like shout your brand out while I'm there?" And they messaged me back, and they were like, "Hell yeah! Here's what they give me. They gave me 5 mouse pads, and they gave me 20 sets of skates." Hey, Jenny. Yeah, for free, by the way. Literally, just sent them to me. Are you a B now? Is that your... You are a B? I have a B. I have a B. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What are you pulling a knife out for? Oh, I'm snoozing ads again. Wait, go on about the mouse pads. I was interested. I snoozed it. I snoozed it. We got 5 minutes. I was just talking about because Malik said that he wants a artisan pad, and I said you can get a clone for like dramatically cheaper. But I have a bunch of them. I need to get a Wooting, a mouse pad, and a new desk. Yeah. I went with the classic I have a IKEA countertop as my desk. On the website and can find any. Are you selling any artisan ones? I am not. I only have 2 artisans. I have the Raiden and the Hien. New headphones? Okay. Okay. I have these DT900 Pro X by Bayer Dynamic. Do I recommend any wireless headsets? I have these, which I liked a lot. The SteelSeries Arctis Pro, I think is what they are. I used these for a long time. The HyperX Cloud Flight. Those are alright. I only use SteelSeries for their clipping software. Yeah, their clipping software is decent. I use OBS for clipping. I set like a replay buffer and use that instead. I've had this. Oh god. I've had this for the longest time ever, and it was HyperX. Now it's all ripped because it's the same one for the last 4 years, so I don't see the point in getting another HyperX. I mean, if you like the brand, there's nothing wrong staying with the same brand. I assume you had the HyperX, like the Cloud 2s or whatever. That's the gamer headset. That's what everyone's got at some point in their life. They've had that headset. I have a special edition version of those. I'll show you. Hold on. Special edition. Here's my special edition of the HyperX Cloud 2s. They are Riot branded. With the old Riot Games logo. I have a bunch of riot shit. This. Yeah, I used to, yeah. This right here, that's a record of all of the world's music, like all the world songs. Let me snooze these ads again. This is my last snooze. This is the last one, and then I gotta hop off for the night. This is a picture of like all the agents and stuff that was given to us in 2022, I think. This one up here is from 2021. This one right here is from 2023. Here's this was given to all the people that worked on 2XKO, the Riot fighting game, also known as Project L. This was given all the people that worked at Evo for that. This is my old badge for work. I even got my name tag over here. This is my old name tag. Dusty. I have this side of it that's got the veterans logo. Well, I'm about to go to bed, so. But thank you for the lurk. It's appreciated. But yeah. Malik, let me know if you have any questions about keyboards or mice or mouse pads or headsets or mixers, microphones. I got you. What up? What is your last question? A good mic that's affordable? Do you want an XLR mic? Like that requires a mixer? What's the pros of an XLR? So the main pro of an XLR is it's really hard to find a good dynamic microphone that's not XLR. So dynamic is like if I go over here, if I start talking, like genuinely sound further away and then I get more clear as I get closer. A condenser microphone is it's so essentially dynamic is like siloed, like it's basically like a cone around the mic that is capturing audio here, right? But condenser microphones gather all of the audio around you and can like condense it into the microphone. It's like it's a very bad description, but so imagine like singers use dynamic microphones, drummers use condenser microphones. And you really won't be able to find like a really good quality dynamic microphone that's USB. I think the only like the best one I can think of is probably like the HyperX whatever cast that they have, the real colorful one. Yeah, this one. Hold on, I'm waiting for the ad. It'll be 30 seconds. Hurry up and run. Are we back yet? Nope. All right, you here? All right, cool. Okay, so this is like the only mic I can think of that has decent like dynamic qualities, but it's $150. And what you can do is you can get this, which is the Rode Pod mic. This is a very good dynamic microphone, like especially for the money. It's actually crazy how good this is for $100. And then you can find like a cheaper audio interface. Yeah, like you can find like this Scarlett Solo, which is just meant for one microphone. And I mean this will get you what you're looking for. So for $50 more, you're getting like a dramatically better mic setup. But if you're looking for like just a good USB microphone, I mean, there's sorry, my dog is. I don't want to give you wrong information. So here, let's go to, I'm gonna show you a YouTuber. Hold on. Okay, I can't remember his fucking thing. I know his name. Senpai, that's what it is, not sensei. Fuck. Senpai. He has a lot of videos that are very good at showing like what's good for like what price and stuff. Like here, USB mics, which one should you buy? This was 5 years ago though. And I'm pretty sure with this video he said the Quadcast, but yeah, he's got good videos. As a tech person, I recommend his videos. I think they're good. Dang. You about to make me go check that out. Is a recent video called that? Oh yeah, right here. He's got this one. Or here, we can watch this one together, and then I'm going to bed. Wait, that has an XLR hookup. That's so funny. What kind of mic do you have, Willie? I think we both have the same headsets. Maybe. I have the DT 900 Pro X. I did have the DT 990s, and then I bought one of these. And then I bought these. I've never heard. It does have an XLR. Oh, it is a dynamic microphone. You already have a dynamic microphone, my guy. Dude, this looks exactly like the mic that he was just looking at, just not RGB. It's like the same thing. Kind of cool. Interesting. Not gonna lie, I'm falling asleep, so I'm going to move on and go to sleep. You just have to get an XLR. Yeah. You can just get what the fuck did he just say he plugged it into? This thing. Beacon Studio. This thing's probably like fucking $300. Brother, do you not have the link to the fucking thing? I'm losing. Oh, damn, I'm close. 250. That's insane. No, you can do this thing that I talked about before. You can get one of these. Yeah, I question the preamp and stuff in it because it looks like it's built like fired by like the Go XLR Mini here. I mean, how do you even say this? Fifine? That's how I think it sounds or said, and it sounds. Fuck, I'm tired. That's how I think it's said, and it sounds cool. Is what I was trying to say. But I have 3 mixers. That's all the experience I have. So I don't know if I can't tell you if it's good or not. But Yeah, I have the Elgato Wave XLR. I have the Go XLR Mini, and then I have this one that I can't show you because it's strapped. What's that? I have 3 because my Go XLR Mini stopped working, and I needed something to get my mic working, so I bought this. And then whenever I worked for Riot, I was working on the co-streaming booths, and I was given a Rodecaster Pro 2 to like take home and work with and like learn how it works so I could help during co-streams. Yeah, and I still have it from whenever I worked at Riot. Do I know any Stream Deck? What functionality are you trying to get out of it? Because if you're trying to like control volume and stuff, they have what's it called? PC panel. You have this. What if you're just trying to like hit buttons? I mean your cheapest option is going to be the Stream Deck app on the phone. For streaming hotkeys? Yeah, I think your best bet is there's a Stream Deck app by Elgato. Yep. And I think it's free. If it's not free, it's like $5 or something. And then so you download the Stream Deck app, and then you sync it to your phone. Yeah, right here. Stream Deck Mobile. Yeah, and then you literally just, this is like, here's it on the phone, and then here's it here. You move it on the app, and it moves it on the phone. If I hit the button, so it looks like you get 6 buttons for free, but then you have to pay for the rest. But if I hit like mute, you can see at the bottom of my screen, it's muting my computer. It works. Of course. Happy to help. Yeah, I'm passing out for real. I think I'm go get some water because I haven't really drank anything since I started streaming. And then go to sleep. But thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you being here. Have a good night. Have a good night, Donnie, if you're still here. We will play New World soon. I may transfer anyways. Oh, and Cursed. See Cursed? I thought you'd have left me by now. Yeah. Have a good night.